Define your purpose. Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Live Free Universe. I am YG Reno. Thank you very much. Before we get started, just wanted to say leave a comment in the comment section if you wanted me to discuss any topics that might be on your mind. I'll discuss pretty much anything. But yeah, today I want to talk about defining your purpose. This comes from a book that I read by Napoleon Hill called How to Think and Grow Rich. Definitely very enlightening, especially in terms of teaching you how to develop a purpose for yourself. And another book I like is Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Definitely really great conversation with why people fail to continue to have good habits and things of that nature. Why do you need a purpose? You need a purpose so that every day you can remind yourself why you do the things that you do. It's just like when you're saving money to buy something. Your whole purpose of going to the job is so you can save this money so you can do this. This is why you need a purpose. You need a purpose so that you can see where it is that you want to end up, where the goal is that you want to go. Who do you see yourself as? Who are you in your mind? Are you the hero? Are you the villain? Are you the pathetic person in the corner? Are you the person that's out there always being known? Are you always on the go? Are you the recluse that's not really known, that's not really seen, but you're there? Are you known, but you're never seen? You just defining who you are to yourself. That's, I think, is very important, because if you don't know who you are to yourself, it's hard for you to understand your role when you think of how other people see you, because the way you see yourself is going to help determine how people see you. See what I'm saying? And if you don't have an image for yourself, people are going to define your image. That's very important in terms of how to define your purpose, because if you don't see yourself as your main character, as the protagonist in your story, then you'll find yourself living as a sidekick in your real life. You know what I mean? It's about trying to give yourself a clearer vision of your wins and learning how to minimize and cut losses and learn from all your losses and mistakes. Creating social relationships to help define purpose. If you know who you are or what you see in your mind in terms of what you think you are, if you are who you say you are, do you hang around people that amplify that personality? Do you stay around people that help you build into that character, or help you to continually redefine and define that character and sharpen that character into who it is? That means finding other people that are like-minded, finding people that think and talk like you want to talk and think. People that see the next step in which you want to go in. That's harder now after this whole COVID situation, especially for me, because like I work with people that I do like, but I feel like as my brain develops, it's harder for me to grow in those social relationships because I see things in a much broader view now. Will Smith says that the 5 friends that you have around you are the person that you are. Those people define who you are as a person. And I think that's important, because if you have people with really great habits, then you will always strive to create good habits. But if you have people with bad habits, like people who are thieves or manipulators or lazy or gluttonous or very selfish, you develop these tendencies too. It just happens. It's like you start off with a job and you're very positive, and you work with a negative person. And you're positive every day. You're ready for this. Every day you're ready for this. And that negative person is always negative. Negative. One day you have a slip up. You're not as positive today. And they're negative. And their negativity feeds you to be negative. The next day, then you don't feel that positivity as strongly anymore. It's easier for it to dip into the negative now. Now both of you are complaining. You're both negative. Separating from negative people is very important, because negative people aren't like positive people. Positive people are infectious, just like negative people are. But a negative person is more likely to wear you down and drag you over time. A positive person can only inflate you for as long as you can be inflated. Meaning, when you're around a positive person, you can only remain positive with them so as long as you're positive. When you're around a negative person, as long as they're negative, you will continually draw in that negative energy. I don't know why it works like that. That's just how it works. You know what I mean? Being dissatisfied enough to change. Looking at your life and seeing, hey, I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need those. This is beyond what I actually need to be focusing on. Learning how to make cutthroat decisions and actually being able to go forward, being able to remove all the doubts and the fears and go after it, fall, land on your face, get mud on your face, clean it up. You know what I'm saying? Being dissatisfied enough to change, not being afraid to just get up and do it again. Because you don't want to go back. You know? You could either go hard or you can go home. I ain't going home. Being happy with the results so that you can correct your behavior. This means actually looking at where you are. It doesn't mean that you need to say, well, I suck and I'm just happy about that. It means, okay, I don't make the best social connections. Why? Okay, maybe my language isn't off. Okay, how can I correct it? All right, let me go talk to somebody. Where did I go wrong? Boom. Okay, cool. Damn, it sucks. Now I see where I went wrong. You see what I'm saying? The mentality isn't being happy with being wrong, but being happy that you see a place for you to correct your mistakes. Allowing yourself to have opportunities to grow. Accepting the dark side of your persona. We all have a dark side. We all have a dark side. Every single one of us. I have a mean streak. Especially if you get me on the wrong side, I got a mean streak. But generally, when you see me, I'm very, very positive. I try to be very, very progressive and initiative. I try not to react. I try not to let my personal biases about life overwhelm me under pressure. A persona is a mask that we use to interface with the world. Your personality is all a charade. Let me tell you why. The same way you talk to your lover is not how you talk to your friends. The same way you talk to your friends is not how you talk to your parents. The same way you talk to your parents is not how you talk to your educators. The way you talk to your educators is not the way you talk to your managers and administrators. The way you talk to your administrators is not the way you talk to your banker. The way you talk to your banker is not the way you talk to your customers and clients. Your personality, it needs to be able to be adaptive. You need to be able to switch up the way you speak every time you talk to everybody in order to give them what they need from you. And that's just how the world works, and you know that. If you don't know that and you are the same person to everybody, you'll find that a lot of people don't like you. Some people may like you because you're real, or so they say, but generally most people don't like a person who's completely themselves all the time. Reason being is you're going to speak your opinions. You're going to do things that other people may not like, that you may offend in the room, that you may need to be with later, that you may need to partner with later, that you may need advice from later. Not understanding how you interface with the different parts of your world, not understanding who you are and what you want out of the world, this destroys you, because now you have the opportunity to walk into a room and say everything but the right thing to get you into the next door, to get you to the next opportunity or the next level. I think having a persona is great. Having a persona that changes over time, that switches with person to person, is even better, because now you're able to experience the different parts of life. It's like embracing your dark side. Learning to keep your dreams hidden while being fearless and forward. Meaning, if you have dreams and goals, you don't want to tell everybody what you're doing. You don't want to tell everybody which way you're going, because when you tell them that, you give them plenty of chance to destroy you and throw obstacles in your way. If you tell somebody you're making money, you tell somebody that you're making moves, and people have a way in and they want to take your opportunity from you, they'll try to. It's just point blank period. You can't tell people your dreams. Some people, they have no dreams. They have no imagination. And that imagination that they're lacking overwhelms them so much they have to steal yours in order to actually have something for themselves. It's like somebody who copycats. You say a joke and everybody laughs, so the next time they get a chance, they'll say that joke. Or you'll make a funny gesture, and they see everybody thinks you're funny, so they'll make that funny gesture so they can get that laugh. Mental materialization. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with speaking into existence. I do believe that works in two folds. It's not just speaking, it's actually doing, it's actually living and being within the experience in which you wish to create. Like Nikola Tesla, he often said that he would materialize the things that he wanted in his mind before he ever set forth and put them into the world. But of course, when he set forth into putting things into the world, he had to make mistakes in order to realize where his imagination needed to meet reality. Same thing for Henry Ford when he was building his systems. Because Henry Ford, let's just be honest, you know what I'm saying? He created the assembly line. You know what I'm saying? He didn't make the best car, but he created the most easily manufactured car. Thomas Edison, he wasn't really an inventor. He was a patenter. But he stayed ahead of his own goals. He defined his purpose. He materialized what he wanted. Often inventors, they want to create the invention. They're not too concerned with the sales. Salesmen are. So, depends on what you want. Do you want to be the inventor, or do you want to be the founder, the owner, the creator, the intent designer, whatever? Do you want to get paid for your work, or do you simply just want to work for someone and get paid? And being courageous enough to change when necessary. As you define your purpose, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to realize there are things that just aren't meant for you. You're going to realize there are going to be a lot of things that maybe you just don't need to participate in. And you need to be courageous enough to realize that you need to change, and then making cutthroat decisions in order to redefine your purpose and correct your course of life. It's interesting because you find a lot of people that don't have a life purpose, they drift. They drift here and they drift there and they drift here and they drift there. A lot of times they drift too long and they're in their 30s and their 40s and they no longer want anything. Their ambitions are as shallow as the wind blows, right? They want this and they want that, by the way and by the way. And that's because they don't have long-term visual goals. You have to give yourself a long-term destination so that when you do stray from it, you can correct yourself. You also need to write things down. If not write things down, create some way of analyzing your emotions so that you can best move forward and help yourself with your life. Define your purpose. Whatever it is. I want to be the best person at waking up and having a cheerful attitude, or I want to make the best breakfast in my house, or I want to be able to make the most amount of money in my job, or I want to make the most amount of social connections, or I want to be able to change people's lives. Choose your purpose. Find the path, stumble along the way, get back up, and redefine your purpose. Always move forward, you know? Read a book. Don't read all this foo-foo garbage about blase crap. Read a book that can enrich your soul, enrich your mind, and vitalize your mentality. But anyways, I am YG Reno. Thank you again. Subscribe, leave a comment down below if you want me to talk about something, or if you have any concerns or any questions or anything, whatever. Thank you very much for joining me. You could have been anywhere else on YouTube, but you came here, and I am happy for it.
You know what I mean? Ain't no sentiments for poor dads and simpletons. You friends with them, you unlike them, you stupid. You stupid. All of this got a lot of chains and whips. Yeah. Slave to the trends, but you still a piece of shit. Goodbye to the good guy.